Hey guys, Mr. Money here, and in this video I'm revealing how people are making thousands of dollars in profits by speculating on cryptocurrency arbitrage between two different cryptocurrency exchanges. Trust me, it's easier than it sounds, so let's dive right into it. First and foremost, we gotta get used to the concept of price arbitrage. Basically, this is the simultaneous purchase and sale of the same asset in different markets in order to make some profit from tiny differences in the asset's listed price. Now, I know that is a mouthful, so let me simplify things for you. And so here is the situation that I'm sure all of us have encountered at some point. Let's just say that you are searching for a product at a store and it has a certain price. For example, $1.3 for the sake of simplicity. And then you went to a different store and you found it for a way lower price. $1 in this case. Now, that 30-cent difference is called price arbitrage. And that is going to be a key process moving forward because that is exactly how we are going to stack up some profits. If you think about it, there is also a fundamental concept behind dropshipping. What people do is they connect to places like AliExpress or Alibaba and they find undervalued products. For instance, they can buy this chair for $20 off of AliExpress. Then they are gonna take into account the expenses of shipping that product and they can list it for, let's say, $25 on eBay and keep a solid $2 or $3 profit for every single sale. And that is just how dropshipping works in a nutshell. Of course, it's gonna be more difficult than that, but these are just the fundamentals. In other words, wherever there is a significant difference in price, you can make a profit. And that is exactly how cryptocurrency arbitrage is gonna work. Let's just take a look at this example right here. Let's just say we're able to purchase Ethereum on Binance for a price of $2,793. And we can also sell that same exact asset on Coinbase for a higher price. What you can do is just purchase Ethereum off of Binance and then quickly sell it on Coinbase and keep a $7 profit. Now, you also have to take into account the withdrawal and the deposit fees, which are also going to come into play. But if you do the math correctly, you can keep a solid profit every single time. And the best part about it is that the more you repeat this process, the more money you can make. But it all stays the same. You don't have to do anything differently. And at the end of the day, this is all gonna be a numbers game. The chances of finding a significant difference in price that actually allows you to keep a solid profit are pretty slim. And so it's a numbers game. The more exchanges you look at, the more you're gonna maximize your chances of finding an opportunity. And when you find it, it is time to take advantage of it. Let me show you what I mean. A little bit of research is going to be mandatory. What you can start doing is looking for cryptocurrency exchanges. Now, it doesn't necessarily matter if they are centralized or decentralized. The most important thing is that you find an opportunity. And that's gonna include Coinbase, Voyager, BlockFi, Uphold. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with them. Again, the more cryptocurrency exchanges you are looking at, the more chances you're gonna have of finding a significant opportunity that you can profit off of. Actually, test it right now. According to Binance.com, the last price of Ethereum is about $2,790. And when it comes to KuCoin, the price is $2,793. So that is a $3 difference. Is that going to allow us to make a profit? Probably not, because we also have to take into account the gas fees in this case if we are operating on the ERC20 network. So you may want to stay away from that. And also you got to take into account the deposit and the withdrawal commissions, which are always going to be a thing. So you got to do the math beforehand. You cannot just start buying Ethereum and then hoping to make a profit, because it doesn't work like that. It is a little bit trickier than that, but still, this is a real earning opportunity and regular people are making lots of profits. But now, guys, let's just step back, take a look at the bigger picture, and think about it for a second. So, if you can keep a $7 or let's say a $5 profit for every single purchase and then sale, that means that if you're able to purchase 2 Ethereum, you can get $10. If you're able to purchase 3 Ethereum, you could get 15, and so on and so forth. And that means it is all a numbers game. The more you can buy, the more money you're gonna make. But as the difference in prices are pretty slim and the price of Ethereum is pretty high, that would mean you would have to make a substantial investment, and most of us do not have tens of thousands of dollars just to play with. And that's where Aave.com comes into play, and this is not a paid promotion. I'm just covering this website here to show you a different approach. Instead of having to purchase Ethereum or Bitcoin, Binance Coin, or whatever it is that you are purchasing with your own cash, what you can do is take advantage of flash loans. And here's how that works. Basically, platforms like Aave.com will allow you to borrow a big amount of money for a very, very short amount of time. Once you spot an opportunity in the market that allows you to make a profit, you can borrow a certain amount of money from Aave, take advantage of it, so speculate on that opportunity and keep a profit, and then give the money back to that platform. And so instead of having to purchase those underlying assets with your cash, You can just purchase them using Aave's money. And don't worry about it, they've got a lot of cash. However, there's gonna be a downside to that. As mentioned, we are talking about flash loans here, and as the name might suggest, these are loans that you can take for a very brief period of time, and we are just talking about a few seconds. To be even more precise, you can borrow millions of dollars off of this platform. However, you would have to give that money back within just a few seconds. And the chances of you being able to connect to Binance.com, let's say, purchase Ethereum, then transfer it to KuCoin and selling it, that is pretty much impossible. Or at least that cannot be done by a real person. And that is where software comes into play. You see, cryptocurrency arbitrage can be a great earning opportunity, especially if you're also taking advantage of flash loans. But if you're planning on doing it yourself, your chances of actually making it are pretty slim. Now, if you like the concept of flash loans and you want to dive a little bit deeper, you're gonna find all of the documentation and all of the information you need out there on the internet. And there are ways you can take advantage of flash loans without having any solid coding or programming skills, because there will be pieces of software out there that you can access which have specifically been engineered for taking advantage of flash loans, so that way you don't have to create the code yourself. But I will let you explore that avenue on your own, because this video is not about flash loans. Instead, it is just about cryptocurrency arbitrage. And as you can see at its core, the concept is not that difficult, and we are already seeing it on a day-to-day basis, but we don't really realize it. You see, there are gonna be a lot of different cryptocurrency exchanges out there, and each one of them is owned by somebody else. The chances of all of these different cryptocurrency exchanges syncing up at the exact same moment are pretty slim. And that is exactly why all of these opportunities are eventually gonna appear every once in a while out of thin air. However, guys, what you gotta understand is that you're definitely not the only one who's looking to speculate off of this price difference. A lot of major players are going to be looking out for opportunities as well, and when they find them, they're just gonna seize those opportunities. So the time span you have in order to actually take advantage of the opportunity is very, very little. Sooner or later, the price is going to even out, and the opportunity is going to vanish. And having that in mind, I still think that cryptocurrency arbitrage is a great thing. It's a great earning opportunity, but it is not necessarily something that you can do just like that after watching a YouTube video. You would have to dive a little bit deeper and really understand the concept there and understand what's going on behind the scenes and why these price differences are going to appear every once in a while. But again, guys, you are not alone in this fight. The great news is that all the information you need is literally out there and you can access it for free. And so all that is left for you to do is diving a little bit deeper and doing some research. And once you're done with that, I can assure you there will be countless different earning opportunities that you can profit off of. That's it for now, and thanks for watching.